Hello everyone, my name is Ivo and welcome to Cooking with the Koyas. It is great to see you because we're back in the kitchen and what a great place to be. Cooking is not work, folks, it's fun. And today we're gonna have a lot of fun. We are gonna make homemade pasta using just 3 ingredients. And we're gonna make cavatelli. And I'm gonna show you folks how to make cavatelli. Of course, we'll use a pasta board, but I'm gonna show you how you can make cavatelli with no tools at all. All you need is love to do it. In fact, or older generation and you have a dinner party, get everybody involved. Have a pasta making party. It'll be a lot of fun with a little bit of wine, of course. But anyhow, let me show you how easy it is to do. Let's get started right now. So our 3 ingredients, folks, are semola, water, and salt. That's it. So simple. So I'm going to show you this now. Semola. Semola is the brother or the sister to semolina. And what you want to find is semola rimaginata. Rimaginata means reground, double ground. Okay, that's the Italian word for reground. And here's another brand, same thing, semola rimaginata. This says di solo grano Italiano. So this one is made strictly with Italian wheat. Okay, but again, the rimaginata is what you're looking for, and you're not looking for semolina, you're looking for semola. Semolina is actually much coarser than semola. All right, so the recipe, folks, is very simple. It's 2 parts semola, 1 part water. So because I'm just making for Laura and I tonight, 2 people, my general rule of thumb, 100 grams of semola per person. So there's 100, and I'm going to bring it up to 200 grams. And $200 grams right there. So 200 grams of semola. And to that, I'm going to add 100 grams of water. I will put the conversions in the description below, folks, for those of you who prefer ounces, so no worries, okay? So, but before I add the water, I like to add the salt to the semola. And again, very simple, 1/4 teaspoon of salt for every 100 grams. So I have 200 grams, so I'm going to put in 2/4 or 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay, so my salt, and just much better as you're forming it. So just little by little, work the water in, and we're going to begin to start to form a dough. Okay, and eventually, yes, we're going to get our hands in there, of course, folks, but I like to get it started this way, and I also like to start it in the bowl. You could do this on the counter as well. Just put a little hole in the semola and go to town. So little by little, I just add it, and I'm going to... Semola has to be absorbed by that water, and it will. It'll come together, folks. And this cavatelli dish is one of the specialties in the Puglia region in Italy. If you ever go there, you definitely want to try their cavatelli. All right, let me dig in now. Basically, I just work it, and with your hands, you just kind of knead it in, and it's going to absorb it all. And in fact, at this point, what I'll do is I'll put it on the counter because it's just easier to work with at this point on the counter. And again, you can just kind of bring it all together, knead it. Bring it together. It looks like it's not going to come together, but it will. As that water absorbs, little by little, you'll be able to work more in. But basically, all of that's got to get absorbed into the dough. So don't panic if you're looking at and you're just starting and you're saying, oh no, look at this. It's not going to absorb. Don't worry, it'll absorb. Just keep working it until it does. Okay, as you can see, I've got pretty much all of it absorbed in. That's what you want. But now if you notice, the dough is kind of rough, and it's not very nice. It's not the water and the semola are not incorporated nicely. It's kind of a rough dough. That's where the kneading comes in. We're going to knead this for, well, we'll do it for 5 minutes and see how we are. But you can knead this up to 10 minutes. And what you'll notice is as you continue to knead it, this dough, folks, is going to get softer and softer. So don't worry again about what you have right up front, because you're going to end up with a beautifully soft textured dough. Okay, so I'll come back. Let's come back at 5 minutes and we'll see what it looks like. Here we are 5 minutes later, and folks, we have a beautiful soft dough right here. Feels like soft putty. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, and all I was doing, it's a small dough. So just with my one hand, using the palm of my hand, I'm basically just kind of pushing forward and rolling it forward and just kneading it with the palm of my hand. Now, if you had more, you could use your two hands, you know, and just, again, same thing, using the palm of your hands, just kind of push down and kind of push forward a bit. It's nothing strenuous, folks, just nice and easy. And in fact, after you do this for a minute or two, you'll already notice a big difference in your dough. Okay, so I think we have the consistency that we're looking for. We're going to make a nice dough ball here. And now what it has to do, it has to rest. So it's also a nice warm dough with that warm water that we used. Not only did it help the dough come together nicely, but it feels nice. It's nice and warm. Okay, so now that we've kneaded it for a good 5 minutes, we are going to let this rest for 15. And then we'll come right back and start making our cavatelli, and that's where the fun begins. Our dough has been patiently waiting. Gave me a nice little chance to clean up as well. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful dough ball. It's amazing. That's going to feed Laura and I. It will. 100 grams per person, general rule, like I said. Okay, so now, like I say, comes the fun part. If you have kids or grandkids, this is the part you're going to want them to do. Or if you have a dinner party, this is the part you want them to do. So I cut off a little piece, and you want to roll this into a, let's say, rope type shape. About, I'm going to say, about a 1/4 inch. So a way to do it is you push down with the palms. So you kind of push down and out, down and out. Okay, and as you do that, it's going to continue to get, in fact, if I do it on the counter, it'll be so much easier. Okay, just push down and out. And as you do that, it gets longer, thinner, longer, and thinner. And you want it about a 1/4 inch thick. So not too thick, but also not too thin. Okay, that's looking pretty good right there. Yeah, I'm going to say that's good. One more for good measure. You can see there what we've got. Okay, so back to our cutting board. So what we're going to do is basically cut into about 1 inch little pieces. Just like that. Now, when I was in Puglia, we were making them small, like that, just tiny ones. I'll show you the difference. But I like them to be about, oh, just about 1 inch. So just go along and cut them about 1 inch long. Okay, now when I said this is when you want to get your grandkids or kids involved, maybe not in this part with the cutting, but the part that's coming up is really the part that I meant. So I'll show you what I mean there. Okay, so now that they're done, I have these two beautiful pasta boards that I bought for myself when I was in Italy as a souvenir. Different shapes, okay? They'll produce different shapes to the pasta. I'll show you how to use those. But I'll also show you how to make them cavatelli without those, just using a knife and or a fork. So first let's start by using one of these pasta boards. So basically you're going to take one of your cut pastas and put it with the, you don't want the cut side facing down, you want the cut sides facing out, okay? And you're going to now just with your thumb, just push down and roll forward. Okay, make one revolution, and you can see there how the pasta has taken the shape of those grooves. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Shape of those grooves. And if you look, it opens up inside, see? So that's going to capture the sauce really, really nicely. And those ridges are going to hold on to the sauce as well. All right, let's try it again with this one now this time. Take another piece of our dough. Okay, and this one has two different designs. So actually I'm going to start it on this design and finish it on that design. So it'll have a kind of an interesting little twist. So again, with your thumb, just push down and roll forward. And that's it. You have a beautiful, beautiful, now you got a different shape to cavatelli. Again, same thing, hollow on the inside, right? And it just rolls like that. And that's a beautiful cavatelli right there, folks. And that to me is a nice size. Okay, here's a little thin one here. Again, no problem, just roll it forward and away you go. So you can get pretty quick. Slide, roll, right? That's it. You can really, and this is the part where the kids and the grandkids or the house guests come in. It's fun. Now, okay. Let's say you don't have these pasta boards, but you still want to make cavatelli. No problem. Get your little piece. With a knife, you can, hopefully you'll be able to see this, just basically put the back side of the knife onto your cavatelli and roll it towards you. Okay, so basically now you have the same thing. You have a rolled, as you see, it opens up. There's just no ridges on. So with the boards, we're making ridged. With a knife, you can make a smooth cavatelli. Now, let's say you want ridged cavatelli, but you don't have the boards. That's where the fork comes in. You're not going to believe how easy this is, folks. Put your fork upside down. Take your dough, same thing, with the cut ends facing sideways, horizontally, and then start at the top of your fork and with your thumb just push down like you do on the board and roll forward. Okay, and look at what we have. We have another beautifully ridged cavatelli. Same thing, it can open on the inside. All right, that's beautiful. So a little bit of a different design because it's a fork, but you know, just push down and roll, boom, done. And away you go. So you don't need any fancy equipment or materials to make cavatelli from scratch. It's really, really easy. But having said that, these boards are not expensive. And they're so much fun to have. So, but anyways, there's some options for you folks. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to continue to work my way through this dough and continue to make our cavatelli. Meanwhile, I've got my sauce brewing, of course, folks. The sauce is stewing very, very nicely. It's my classic Italian, and if you're interested in that sauce, I'll put a link in the description for you so you could see how I've made that. And I also have my water on the go, ready for boiling the cavatelli. And look at the dough, isn't that beautiful? It's nice and soft. You need that rimaginata. That's the key. The semola rimaginata gives you a nice soft texture and a beautiful, beautiful dough. Okay, let me finish making these cavatelli and we'll make our way over to the stove. And I should have mentioned as well, folks, when you make your long rope-like shape, you can also just fold it in half and cut two at a time. It just goes a little quicker and saves a little time. And just so you know, I am mixing up my cavatelli. I'm going to use this board, and I'm also going to use the other board. So we're going to have a mix of different shapes in our pasta today. So why not, right? Again, it's all about having fun. Oh, and just one more thing to note. If you've probably noticed, I've had these boards on an angle as I roll my cavatelli. That way they more easily fall down into place. And this board actually has an angle cut on it here so that it sits on an angle this way, which is also quite nice. There we go. Just, again, another little thing that makes a simple difference. And we're coming to the end right now, folks. There we have it. Beautiful. Don't those look nice? Very nice cavatelli right there. So easily made too. And they're going to look even nicer with some sauce on them. Let's make our way over to the stove. We have a vigorous boil going with our water, which is good. And we're going to add some salt. So you want a good tablespoon of water. If you want to be cautiously optimistic with salt, you can do 1 tablespoon, 1 heaping tablespoon for 2 liters of water. But basically you want that water nice and salty. Okay, now to that boiling water, once you've added the salt, now we can add our cavatelli. Just slowly slide them in. And we're going to have to bring that back up to a boil. They're not sticking, they're beautiful. Now, these are going to take a little bit longer typically than your typical homemade egg noodle pasta. Okay, so what I'm going to say is you can start to taste after 8 minutes. I mean, you go 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes and see what you think. I like mine to go more like 12 minutes. It could even go up to 15 minutes. It depends how al dente you actually want them. But once the cavatelli go in, we have to bring it back up to a boil before we even start our timer going. Okay, so right now the timer is not going. We're just going to let that come back up to a boil. And in the meanwhile, let's check up and see how our sauce is doing. Oh boy, folks. This is my classic Italian sauce. And again, if you're interested on how to make this, it's really easy. I'll put a link in the description for you because I've got a video on that. And this is going to be very, very nice. Look at that sauce. Oh, can't wait to put that on my cavatelli. All right, and we got a boil? Almost got a boil. It's just getting ready to start to boil. So from this point on, we'll start keeping an eye on the timer. I'm going to let it go 12 minutes. Again, you be the judge. You can go from anywhere from 8 to 12 to 15, but we're going to go 12. Okay, time to remove our cavatelli. Let's turn that off. Let's turn our sauce off. Oh, looky there, folks. Very nice. Scoop out our cavatelli. Oh, I love my pasta, folks. Simple things in life, right? Simple things in life. And that, I believe, is the last of them. No, there was one more hiding there, folks. And like I said, we're not leaving not even one behind. All right, there we go. Perfecto. All right, now let's add our beautiful sauce, folks. Oh yeah. Let's add our sauce. Very nice. I like lots of sauce too. I just enjoy the sauce. Okay, start to toss it. Again, it doesn't look like a lot, but it's heavy, don't forget. So it is going to be filling. Okay, our sauce is nice and thick. I'm going to put a couple little meatballs there, of course. Let's put more sauce. There we go. Okay, now you're talking, folks, right there. Now you're talking. All right, let me make our way over, folks, the taste test. Yes, let's go over to the kitchen table. Always my favorite part, folks. What can I say? You know, the taste test, folks, it's not just because, you know, we want to eat our cavatelli and that because they're good, but it's because we made them. So it makes them that much more enjoyable, right? The fact that you made it yourself, literally within an hour, you're done with homemade pasta. It's that quick and easy. Oh, look at this beautiful plate, folks. I mean, seriously. Isn't that a nice plate of cavatelli right there? It's going to be even nicer with a little bit of freshly grated Parmigiano Reggiano. I grate my own. Yeah, let's put that on. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, be generous, Evil. Be generous. Okay. And oh yeah, how about a homemade meatball? And if you're interested in that recipe, I have a video on that as well. And you know what? That looks so nice. I have to take a quick picture. Oh my folks. Okay, let's dig in. 2 cavatelli at a time. Folks, for me, that is al dente perfectly. It's not too soft and not too hard. And again, that's the 12-minute mark, but you be the judge. But look, get that cavatelli, pick up that sauce. Look at the nice sauce on there. Delicious, folks, absolutely delicious. That one had a lot of sauce on the inside cup when I bit into it. All that sauce came out. Absolutely beautiful. Folks, what an amazing home-cooked Italian meal that you really can have a lot of fun with in the kitchen. Why not do it? And again, if you have the pasta boards, also known as gnocchi boards, by all means use them. If you don't have them, still have some fun. Just use the back side of a knife or use a fork and make the ridged cavatelli. You know what I could use here? A little bit of chili peppers. That would be the icing on the cake. But tell you what, folks, and for those of you who are dairy-free, no eggs involved. 3 simple ingredients. Doesn't get much better than that. A lot of fun to do. It's quick, it's easy, and it's delicious. I really hope you give cavatelli a try. It's a lot of fun, and like I say, they're delicious. Enjoy. Buon appetito. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, yes, buon appetito and salute. That's my homemade wine too, which is very good. And I'll put a link in that description for you if you want to know how to make homemade wine, because I've got that also. Better call Laura before it's too late.